Hey folks, Cornell with YouTube Fishing Vids. I'm up here with Jeff Greene. He's a guide on the Potomac River with shallow water fishing adventures. So we're going to cruise upriver here from Lander. River's kind of high. We've got a 70-75 degree day here in February. Absolutely unbelievable. The jet boat is fired up. We're ready to roll. Hopefully chase down some Potomac River smallmouth. So y'all just stay tuned. Folks, we haven't even gotten going yet. Jeff just pulled off a little, looks like a, what do you think that is? Is that a topwater bait? We got a little crazy topwater bait and a tube tied up in a tree, so we've already gained a couple lures. Definitely not throwing topwater today, that's for sure. But yeah, this is the first action of the day, so hang tight, we're getting going. Okay, so we pulled up on our first spot that was no more than a 5-minute run. We've got a really unique situation. The water's real high. It's got some color to it, but right along the shoreline, right along the edges, we got a color change. So it's real clear up on the shoreline. Definitely muddy up the center. So we're gonna hopefully find some of these smallmouth in some of these clear pockets. So y'all just stay tuned. We're going smallmouth fishing.
All the way back. We're gonna go as far back as we can.
Good deal.
Creek.
All right, guys, we're going up the creek, and now we've got some nice stained water, not muddy, so we've got some good clarity here to work these smallmouth. So let's get fishing, folks. I'm not even rigged up. I'm looking to get some bottom baits going. I've got jerk baits tied on. We got tubes, hair jigs, all the wintertime smallmouth flavors out here, and my man is throwing a pointer 100, right, Jeff?
Yes,
he's got a pointer 100, and look at the size of this chub he just landed on a jerk bait. I don't think I've ever seen a chub this big. Isn't that some giant musky candy right there?
Yeah,
look at this thing. You got to show this thing off. By the way, that's Jeff up close, folks. Hey. Jeff Greene with Shallow Water Fishing Adventures up here on the Upper Potomac. I've never seen a chub that big. That is absolutely awesome. All right, you literally cast it, what, three or four times? Yeah, they're slippery, so there's no question you weren't gonna. And in the net.
There he is.
That is too funny. All right, let's get some smallmouth. That's our first fish of the day. Very kind of unexpected catch right there, but right by the bridge. And you say there's up to 9 feet of water up here, huh?
Yeah, no.
All right, we got some deep water.
They can even get 10 feet.
Up to 10 feet, and this water is perfect color-wise. All right, I'm all rigged up with my Ned rig. My man Jeff up here is throwing the pointer 100. He's got a pointer 100 and Aurora perch. That's what he caught, is what we think might be your personal best chub, right? Personal best chub in 5 minutes of fishing with my man Jeff. So that's kind of comical, but let's get it out there and see if we can get this Ned rig going. Okay, folks, that was my second cast with my Ned rig for some Potomac River smallmouth. It's already so warm out here that I've got my jacket off. I'm in short sleeves at 10 a.m. in the morning in February in the mid-Atlantic. Unreal. Fishing up this creek, there is very little current, folks. This is really incredible to have this opportunity to get out of that really swift, muddy water on the main river and work up some more stained water versus muddy and have very limited current, so I can feel everything. I got a fish on, guys. That's my third cast, and fish is on with the Ned rig. Check it out. Sit here talking up how great this clear water is. And did I just get my own personal best chub? Dude, I just got my personal best chub right here.
The chub slayers.
We are the chub slayers, guys. Look at this thing. I got myself my own personal best chub. We just had 2 personal bests happen within the first 10 minutes. I'm gonna lip this thing. You know what? This looks like a little mini redfish. Look at this thing. It's crazy, folks. Look at that. That is a giant chub on the Ned rig, folks. We're no skunk in this boat, that's for sure, but I just can't get over how big that thing is. That is awesome. I'm sure you guys have seen bigger chubs than that, but look at that musky candy right there on the Ned rig. Okay, that's the first fish of the day. Let's see if we can find some of those bronze backs. Jeff, you say the water temperatures are about 43 right now?
It's 44.
40? Wow.
43, yeah.
44, 43, 43, 44 degrees, folks. Not as cold as some of those local ponds. The river's a little bit warmer, at least right now with the sun beating down on it. So what we have here, folks, this is the C&O Canal towpath bridge, and then beyond that's the actual railroad. So that's the railroad bridge. So we got a lot of cover up here to mess with. Hopefully a lot of reasons why the smallmouth want to be up here. And the chubs. Okay, so I still have this pointer 95 tied on from my previous month's mystery tackle box, but this water's a little stained for that ghost threadfin shad. So I'm gonna go reach in my tackle bag, see what kind of jerkbait I've got in there that's gonna match the conditions. Well, there's what I chose, folks. There's the pointer Lucky Craft 78, and that's like a chartreuse perch. You have an idea what that's called? I can't remember. You know your pointers really well. Regardless, folks, that's a chartreuse, little orange chin on them and a little striped deal. So little color for the stained water. I'm gonna throw it up underneath the bridges here. Let's see if I don't break it against the concrete. All right, let's see if I can get by that rock. All right, coming over your right shoulder. Ready? Going back and forth between the Ned rig and the jerkbait. We're covering a lot of water, folks. We're just fan casting all around the banks, up and down the middle, and hoping for the best. So I'm back to the Ned rig here for a minute.
I think that Ned rig's gonna be it.
I think so too. I think it's magical. All right, folks, we just cleared out of that creek that we had some pretty clear water, and now we're on the main river. You can see how much more dirty this water is, now fast the flow is. So we're in this eddy. We got a great big laydown right here. We're gonna throw our Ned rigs in here and some dark colored soft plastics down the bottom so we can pick up one of these smallmouth. So let's see what happens. God, it would have been so perfect if it was a little more, if it was a little less swift and we had these warm days.
Yeah. I cannot believe they're not biting. I'm expecting for us to pull up into a hole and get whacked.
I am too.
What kind of hair jig you put on there?
This is just the Punisher. I think it's deer hair. Got a little zoom tiny mini chunk on it.
Sucker fish, bad luck.
Could be, brother. There's a fish right in the eddy, guys. The game is on. First fish of the day. Oh, it's a giant something. If it's a smallie, it's a giant, guys. First smallmouth of the day, and that's what winter fishing in the Potomac River is all about, guys. Wow. Give me a pound because that's my busted hand, folks. Look at this with Jeff Greene. It's not an every cast thing this time of year. Hold on, let me get that angle. Check that beauty out. Jeff, you are the man. That is a beautiful smallmouth on the Potomac. Let me get the right angle, guys.
There you go.
Check that out. That's what we're talking about. Black hair jig. That's a 3/16 ounce black Punisher hair jig that I was using, and he's clamping down so hard. He bit so well. A little bit mushy, but I felt that bite. Let me get this out of there. There it is. Put a little Jack's Juice garlic scent on it, Punisher hair jig, and that's the first bass of the day. We've been at it for a little while, but look at the conditions, guys. 44-degree water temperature on the Potomac with a 72 degree day, and boy,
as good as me catching that fish.
Isn't that beautiful? That's incredible, guys. All right, that's the first time Jeff and I has ever been fishing together. He hit me up and offered me a little ride out here in his beautiful, what is it, a Sea Arc?
Sea Arc jet boat.
Sea Arc jet boat, man. We are killing it. That is beautiful. That is an absolutely awesome fish. I'm gonna get a couple pictures of that. We're gonna get back out there behind that eddy where that rock was. That's the perfect conditions, guys. All this flow, find the calm water and find the smallies. Back she goes.
Might be the last one of the day. It's tough out here, man.
It might be a tough day, guys, but we are definitely not dealing with a skunk on the smallies. A couple chubs and a beauty of a smallmouth going back. That's it.
Sweet, man. Congratulations.
Thanks, brother. Good guiding, good guiding. Yeah, folks, this is a classic scenario on swift running rivers. These eddies, this boulder right here, this rock is basically stopping the flow of the current, causing a calm spot in the water. I'm just throwing this little 3/16 ounce Punisher hair jig with that light little tiny zoom chunk trailer. I juiced it up with a little Jack's Juice, the crawfish scent. I literally had bounced it off the rock. I bounced it off the rock, dragged it into the water, and I barely creeped this thing. Maybe a foot or two before it got picked up, and it was a slushy little nothing bite, just mushy, and I lifted up and he just lunged. So Yeah, that was one heck of a smallmouth here in the Upper Potomac. Hopefully there's more. These are the kind of days, like I said, you may have a one fish day out here, but if they're like that, that makes it all worth it. Prayerfully we'll pick up another. We're gonna hit eddy by eddy, and Jeff's gonna be running me around this river hopefully for another few hours, hopefully get another one. And this is a perfect example of what we're talking about, folks. Look at the water rushing downstream, and then it just, with the bubbles in the water, they're literally going upstream. So we've got a current break right ahead of us, and all these bubbles are showing how that current break is affecting the water. So we can literally sit here, hardly even having to use the trolling motor, and fish this eddy. So that's where we're gonna go with it. Pick up that hair jig and toss her in. All right, we're moving off to the next one. So this actually ended up being a pretty decent sized rock. I thought it was a log jam, but we were just fishing behind this, nothing on this one, but we're moving on to the next one. That rock's actually up out of the water, and it looks just like a bubbly pool behind it. So hopefully there's something sitting in it. I see a 5 pounder right there. You see it?
Where?
It's right there. Right in the corner of the rock, right there. You don't see it?
No, I hope it's there.
And what are you gonna do if that happens?
Probably call you Babe Ruth and called your shot.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, guys, we're sneaking up in another little creek, but look at the color change. I hope you guys can see this. That is dramatic. Look at the mud line. So pure stained mud, murky water to beautiful cream water and warmer. Nice. So we got warmer water too. So yeah, the Ned rig's gonna come out, probably a little more jerkbait fishing. If we've got enough water and it's deep enough, there should be some smallies in here. So
7 feet deep here.
it's 7 feet. All right, cool. So we got another cool spot, little bridge up there. It's probably again the C&O Canal towpath, and we're off the main river for a minute. So yeah, depending on what happens in here, we'll see. And then if not, we know what's going on in the main river there with that last big smallmouth. So let's go at it and see what happens in this clear water. All right, in this clear water, I'm gonna go back to the Ned rig. That jet black hair jig with that little itty bitty zoom chunk trailer was the deal in that dirtier water. But in here, they're gonna see this green pumpkin just fine. So let's see what we can do. Guys, what a difference a day makes. I don't know if you can see it, but there are mayflies a-hatching. There are mayflies on the surface of the water. There's mayflies on the back of my neck, on my arms. They're just everywhere, and that is like smallmouth candy. So with the water temperatures rising and with the temperatures up in the 70s tomorrow, I can't even imagine what it must be, what's gonna be like tomorrow. We're gonna run out of this little clear creek. There's that mud line again, just super clear to super muddy. We're gonna get back on the main river here, back in the muddy water behind some of these eddies and see if we can do it again. All right, back on the main river here. We're looking at the flow, and now we're looking at a very limited flow. So we've got a nice little pocket here out of the main current. So it's really interesting because right up on the edges of all this brush, there's like a little clear pocket, but you can see that mud line again. So it's probably hard for you guys to see with the sun glare, but that's what we're doing here. We're just in some calm water where these feisty winter smallmouth would probably want to be. So hopefully we'll pick them another one up. All right, folks, we have gone way upriver. We're almost to Harper's Ferry up here. We got some rougher water, some great eddies to work with, and I'm still playing with the hair jig. So we're covering water. It's one of those kind of things this time of year. It's not like a 20, 30 fish day up here for these Potomac River smallmouth. It could be a one fish day, and we got them. Let's just see if we can get one more. We got a couple more hours out here, so we're gonna make the most of it. Oh, this looks so good. Here's an arsenal rundown for this awesome little hair jig I've got going on. Like I said, that's a Punisher hair jig, 3/16 ounce, little baby chunk zoom trailer, 8-pound test Seagar and Vizex fluorocarbon with an Albright knot to SX1 12-pound test braid, and that's a St. Croix Legend Tournament 7'1" medium extra fast, and that's the Stratic 2500 series CI4. Absolutely perfect setup for smallmouth fishing up here on the Potomac River. So let's keep at them. Check out this little calm spot we have here, folks. This is like a miniature pond within a turbulent, rushing river. So we got a little bit of current over here on the edge, but we got a really, really calm area to fish. So hopefully there'll be a few fish trying to get out of that heavy current and dirty water on the main river. So let's give it a cast. All right, folks, we've been running this river hard. We've been hitting it hard, and it's tough conditions. You got to know that in the middle of the winter time with high murky water like this, it's not going to be a numbers day. It's going to be one big fish like we saw earlier. So we're back at the same exact spot. We've got the three big boulders. We got the one over there that I caught the fish on. We've got one right here with a little brush on the top of it, and we got this one right here we're going to fish again. So we're going to just see if we can catch one more. If we don't catch one more, I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm happy to get that one fish. So let's see what we can do. Sun's dipping. All right, folks, if you didn't notice, we're actually back up in the same creek where we started, and it is really, really really getting dark out here. The sun's going down quick. Still back in that really clear water, hoping to catch that one more fish before the end of the night. It's been absolutely awesome out here with Jeff. But yeah, fishing in the middle of the winter time with fast moving murky water for smallmouth bass is never easy, but to have one nice fish under my belt is absolutely incredible. So hang tight, let's see if we can get one more before it's all over, and then we're gonna call it a night. All right, folks, well, we're gonna call it a night. It has been one heck of a tough day, as expected. When we saw this meltdown with this recent snow happen, and we knew that river was going to get high and a little swift and murky, it was going to be a tough day of fishing, but we did not get skunked. Jeff with Shallow Water Fishing Adventures up here on the Upper Potomac. Look him up. I'm going to leave all his information down below in the description. Hit him up if you decide you want to get out here. The fishing will be on very shortly, guys. It's February right now. March, April, May, those times of year are some of the best times up on the Upper Potomac River. So my man Jeff's here for you if you need him. So folks, as always, I appreciate you joining me. As always, I appreciate you subscribing. Until we meet again, over and out.